What's good, Ninja? OJ over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another video. Today we have some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we are starting off with Octopath Traveler on the Nintendo Switch. This game is doing extremely well. We saw the reviews that came out. Nintendo's had multiple different demos. People are enjoying the game. However, it does seem like Nintendo either underestimated the stock for this game or it's selling ridiculously well on the Nintendo Switch, because Octopath Traveler is actually back ordered for 1 to 2 months on Amazon.com here in the US. Now on Amazon Japan, it's the #1 game being sold. Amazon France, #1 game being sold. And here on the US eShop charts, it's the #1 game as well. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be #1 in Japan and maybe top 5 or something like that in Europe for the eShop chart sales, as well as a $59.99 game. So this game is just doing phenomenal. But once again, it kind of begs the question here, like, which one is it? Did Nintendo understock it, or did Nintendo underestimate? Nintendo and Square Enix underestimate things, or is it selling so well people are just rushing out there and buying it? And I think I can give you guys a little bit of insight on that. I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. Don't want to take like the cop out or the way in the middle, but I think it's a bit of both. The reviews for this game, just as long as it didn't tank it completely, like a 60 or low 70s, which low 70s isn't tanking, but most people aren't going to rush out to go buy something like that when it comes to an RPG, but it did really well in that. So people were just like, okay, the reviews are out, people are loving the game, we're getting to play more of it, you can transfer over, I'm going to go ahead and get this game. I don't think tons of people were like, okay, I'm going to pre-order this way ahead of time. I think that people really waited and waited till there was more impressions and the reviews came out, and then once that did happen, just because of the look of the game, obviously people want to know if it's an RPG with substance and there's actually more to it, because the last thing that you want is an RPG, I guess, for some people that look the way that it looks and isn't good. So I think the fact that for some that it actually came together with the reviews, in addition to the game just being awesome and everything, and people rushed out there to go buy it on Amazon and other places as well, because we're getting multiple different reports just from people here and there that their local GameStops, local Best Buys and areas aren't having much stock or don't have stock at all. So I do think it's a bit of a combination of, yes, the game is selling well, don't get me wrong. I think this game is going to be a million seller in no time, but at the same time, I don't think Nintendo shipped out a ton of copies like you would say for something like, let's say, even like Mario Tennis Aces. I think they probably shipped out more copies of Mario Tennis Aces than they did Octopath Traveler on the Nintendo Switch. So I'm excited about this, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, let's see how long it takes them to get some restocks and refills. Then in the meantime, Square Enix is saying you can buy a digital version, which that's great. You can buy a digital version of the game, but at the same time, with this classic style and everything, I think a lot of people actually want the physical version, and this is probably one of the games that's having a higher ratio of people saying, let me get the physical, which could be leading to some of these sellouts over some people just saying, okay, let me get digital. Although on the eShop, the game is #1 there. So it's kind of hard to tell, but I do think it is a bit of both. But like I've said before, and I'll say it again, this is the perfect Nintendo Switch game. Whether you're playing docked, with a Pro Controller, docked, split Joy-Con together, whether you are playing portable mode, tabletop, laying it flat down, HD rumble, I mean, it's just perfect. It uses all of the different features. You can play in any different style that you want. There is no uncomfortable phase or uncomfortable type of way to play it. The HD rumble is absolutely phenomenal with the Joy-Cons. It looks great on the TV, 1080p 60. Looks great on your Nintendo Switch screen, 720p 60. No hitches, no problems. It's the first game that I can truly just say, wow, this has literally every single thing with every single play style and what you can do with the Nintendo Switch. You can play it lazily lying down. I mean, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic, and I think that's the reason why people are, okay, let me go out there and get this one. I think some people were kind of sleeping on it just a bit, but not anymore. It's doing really well across the world here. So what do you guys think about Octopath Traveler's sales so far, it being back ordered? Are you enjoying the game yourself? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the next topic here, it looks like Batman, the Enemy Within, has been rated for the Nintendo Switch by the ESRB. So that pretty much all but confirms a release on the Nintendo Switch and a release soon. So again, another piece of evidence that it is coming in terms of Batman, the Enemy Within. This is the second rating for the game. Back in May, it came across similar classifications from the USK. Now, Batman, the Telltale series, can currently be purchased for the Nintendo Switch. The Enemy Within acts as a sequel within the 5 new episodes. So we do have that first one. Now we're probably going to be getting this one here. Pretty cool games. I've watched some Let's Plays of it. Definitely not my style. I'm not big on the Telltale games, but at the same time, I do know that a lot of people really like that style, and it's Batman. I mean, there's so many Batman fans out there, and it's good to get the variety and type of games that we're seeing on other platforms. Now, this one's coming a bit later, but at the same time, I'd rather have it than not have it at all. I'd actually be really interested if they put out like one of the old school Batmans for the Nintendo Switch. So not the old school as in like the NES, although that NES Batman, that game is hard, but it's pretty cool. But I mean like the Batman Arkham games, so Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, games like that. I know the Wii U got the Batman Arkham City game, and the performance necessarily wasn't the best at times, and you couldn't use the Pro Controller. There was a number of issues with that version of the game, although it still was overall solid, and they added in some cool new extras and things. I think they might want to give it a little bit of another go on the Nintendo Switch. I think that style of game could be pretty cool for a portable style of play, and just to have some more variety when it comes to action games. I was huge into those ones, guys, especially Batman Arkham City. That's my favorite Batman game of all time, and I used to tear it up with Robin in the challenge modes, the combat challenge, where you have to just fight a bunch of people and you have to link it up and you go on the leaderboards. I was like top 5 for a while because I would just be tearing it up with Robin on there. So I'd actually like to try that out on the Nintendo Switch. If they were to put Batman Arkham City, I would totally buy that in a flash on the Nintendo Switch, just because I think it'd be really cool. So what do you guys think about Batman, the Enemy Within, and kind of what they're doing here with the Batman franchise on the Nintendo Switch so far? And what Batman games would you guys like to see come to the system? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the final topic here, Nintendo has discussed how the Switch has a broad range of appeal and demographics, and that games like Kirby Star Allies and Splatoon 2 are appealing to younger players in addition to older players, but games like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild are a little bit more skewed towards the older players, those old school guys out there. So let's go ahead and get into what Doug Bowser from Nintendo had to say on the matter. No, not the actual Bowser, Doug Bowser. So, quote, "It's been broad, it really has. You know, we like to say that we want to appeal to players from 5 to 95, but we look at the Nintendo Switch, it's been really balanced. Obviously, when you have a game like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or some of the more core content or mature content you have mentioned, that's going to skew a bit older. But we're also seeing games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe appeal to a very broad segment. We saw it with Kirby Star Allies, which actually saw a younger segment coming in and playing. So it really does vary by title. Splatoon 2 is a great one that we have found is skewing much younger, and so our goal is, first of all, to have a gaming device that is going to appeal to a broad audience, and we believe that we're showing it downstairs in our E3 booth. We really are kind of transforming how people think about play. It doesn't have to be a console experience or a handheld experience. It could be both, and that's probably my favorite thing that he had to say in this whole interview, and that's really what we're continuing to stress. And then the breadth of games that we're showing right now help us address those different demographics. We're up now to 700 titles in the first 15 months of release, and we just added an important one 2 days ago with Fortnite, and players have already downloaded Fortnite 2 million times. Obviously, it's the online phenomenon right now, and that's actually up to 924 games. This was an older E3 interview, and there's been a number of games released since then, so 924 games total, and that's just insane. So Bowser might have even been wrong on how many games that they do have, because here in terms of the West or North America, there's around, I think, 800 and something that you can download, and then games that are only like on the Japanese eShop. It's just crazy how many titles have been coming out, but at the same time, this is what happens when you have the success the Nintendo Switch is having. You're going to have all sorts of different things come at your way, good and bad. Now we have some people saying that there's too many games coming to Nintendo Switch eShop, that there's all sorts of shovelware. Now there's people saying that, oh, well, now they can't handle it with the eShop, it needs a redesign. But then there's others people saying, okay, well, we have the recommended tabs and we have the best sellers tabs to help us navigate. So I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. It brings a whole new lot of challenges, but I much rather have it this way. I much rather have it people talking about it and having discussion with the Switch than it was with the Wii U, because everything with the Wii U was sales, 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 and how it's a flop and how it's horrible and how there's never any games coming to it. Now with the Nintendo Switch, it's a complete 180, whereas you've got multiple different games. You've got stuff like Fortnite, you've got stuff like Paladins, you got Dragon Ball Fighters coming over, you have things like Naruto Trilogy, games that never came to the Wii U are coming to the Nintendo Switch. You've also got games like Doom and Wolfenstein 2 and Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana and Crash Bandicoot, SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy, Dark Souls is going to be coming out. It's just such a difference, and that is the first Dark Souls or Demon Souls or Soul style of game ever on a Nintendo platform. Hopefully this continues on here. The broad range of demographics is good. You want young players playing, then they grow up playing Nintendo stuff. You want older players playing. You want senior citizens playing. You want everyone playing the Nintendo Switch, because that's how you get more sales. That's how you appeal to more people. That's how you get more word of mouth. And ultimately you can have that big phenomenon like the Nintendo Wii or something like that, to where it sells 100 million systems. So I think the Nintendo Switch, as long as they keep on innovating, bringing awesome games and reinventing the hardware every few years, or whatever they do with their like new Nintendo 3DS or new Nintendo Switch or whatever they want to do with it, as long as they keep that concept up and continue to innovate with stuff like HD Rumble, I think they're going to be just fine. So what do you guys think about the Nintendo Switch and what Doug Bowser had to say here? In addition to Batman and also Octopath Traveler just killing it in sales here, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you Ninja for the next video. Peace.